Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's episode of Beware the Board, a horror podcast where we watch a randomly selected horror movie every week. I'm Bob.
And I'm Ben.
How have you been, Ben?
Stressed.
Wow.
Yeah. I've just been busy. A lot of work.
Yeah, I feel it. I've had a very busy week as well. I have so many things going on with these weddings coming up and everything else. But before we get into anything, there's something very specific I want to talk about.
What could that be?
What did we do this Friday, Ben?
I don't know. We slept in some.
Well-
Kind of did some stuff like that.
You might have slept in. I got up early.
But eventually we watched, what was it? The season 5 premiere of The
Yeah.
Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs.
We did. We watched it, which was really cool because I've never seen anything like that.
No.
It was my first time ever seeing any sort of horror stream or anything like that. So it was super, super cool.
Yeah, first time watching Joe Bob. First time I think watching movie review content,
Yeah, I don't really watch
especially horror themed.
movie review content, even though that's the kind of content we make.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of banned from it. So it's
Not banned.
well,
Come on.
eh.
He kept making some really rude remarks during the show, and I was not
Who did?
having it. You!
Oh, did I?
You don't remember that?
No.
Joe Bob asked Darcy a question, and she gave some just like whatever response, and you went, "Me when I asked you a question on the podcast."
That
and I
is
was like,
true, I do
"Fuck
remember
you,
that."
Ben." Look, okay, we have the same dynamic. You're the smart one, and I'm
There.
here.
Yeah. No, it was fun.
Yeah, it was really
What
cool.
do you think, Bob?
I enjoyed it a ton. Apparently, the format was really different, so that was nice.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone watches that show that watches this podcast, but the format they chose for this episode was themed after, I think very specifically, the late night show.
Oh yeah, because the sign said the late drive-in instead of the last
Yeah.
drive-in.
Very, very, very different format and vibe than a
Mhm.
standard episode. Like a standard episode's mostly Joe Bob being Joe Bob.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more dynamic work between Darcy and him,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot more like fact-heavy content. But this one was mostly bits and like guest appearances,
Yeah, I thought some of the guests were fun. I really enjoyed some of the guests.
which was different.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad. It was just like not the same.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I
But-
really enjoyed Ian McCullough. He had some really, really good stories from that set. He was
Yeah.
very, very cool.
No, they were both pretty great. The Ian McCulloch section was a lot closer to how the show normally is.
Really? Okay.
But I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
I think this is where we mentioned the movies we got to watch.
Oh man, I think I fell in love with one of those movies.
I want to start off by saying Bob got fooled by the April 1st tweet
Oh my God, Joe Bob pranked
about
me.
the content. He thought it was going to be Halloween 3, and he was so excited. And
No,
so
I wasn't excited. Don't say that.
when our first movie came on, he was just so disappointed. He was like, wait a second. This isn't Halloween
No.
3.
Because you had told me the only reason we were going to be allowed to watch Joe Bob, or I was allowed to watch Joe Bob, is because I had already seen the first movie. Turns out that was not the movie he was playing. He was pranking us because I fell for it on April 1st. So instead, we watched Lucio Fulci's film Zombie, or Zombie 2.
It's technically Zombie 2. Well, it's titled Zombie 2.
Yeah.
It's technically just Zombie
Yeah.
because it is a part of the very, very convoluted timeline for Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Basically, from my understanding of it, it's Night of the Living Dead in Italy when it was released was retitled Zombie.
Yeah.
And so basically at the same time that movie was being filmed, Lucci filmed Zombie 2, which was supposed to be like a sequel.
Man, I love that movie so much. It is so cool. What a good movie. I'm so glad. I think you already mentioned it, but both the movies, it was a Fulci double feature with, so it's 2 Italian films, both by him.
Yeah, Lucio Fulci,
Yeah.
who is a dude.
He's from what I heard about the set stories, was an absolute maniac.
Yeah.
But man, those movies were good.
But he's a pretty classic Italian horror director.
Yeah.
And he does some, we'll just call them wild films.
Yeah.
Like content-wise, they're kind of bizarre. Like Zombie 2 is pretty good. I'd seen it before. It took me a while to realize what we were watching.
Yeah, Ben didn't get it for a while, and then, like, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes, 40 minutes into the movie, Ben looked at me and said, "Oh, we're watching Zombie 2. You need a trash can."
Yeah. But Zombie 2's, I think, probably his most famous one.
It's really, really,
But it's
really
wild.
cool.
There's, not to give away too much, there's a zombie wrestling a shark. There's conquistador zombies.
When Joe Bob gave the breakdown of what's in the movie and he mentioned conquistador zombies, me and someone that we were hanging out with just looked at each other with an intense fear.
Yeah, it's wild. And then the second movie we watched that night was The Beyond.
The Beyond, which I like that movie too. The ending is so cool.
It's best described as a fever dream?
A
but
fever
very
dream.
specifically an advanced fever
An
dream.
advanced fever dream. And I can agree with that. After witnessing that movie, yeah.
It makes no sense.
None, but it's awesome. And that's what's cool about it.
But no, that was fun. If no one's seen those two Lucci films,
Go watch them. They're good.
content warning here because I know one of the guests we've had on this show doesn't like this thing.
Yeah.
A lot of eyeball stuff
Yeah.
in both films.
He is a fan of eyeball stuff.
Which, I mean, I am too. It's like it's an easy
Oh.
squeam for a lot of people.
It makes me upset.
You know, Zombie has one of the worst ones in like horror. So
yeah. I
just
mean,
keep
there's
that in
also a
mind.
really, really bad one in The Beyond.
Yeah, it's okay. I think the one in Zombies worse.
And you
yeah,
know what I'm talking
I
about?
think the one in Zombies
Really?
worse.
No.
Yeah.
You know what? It's because I have a specific fear of the other thing too, and that really
yeah,
does not
that's
help.
probably it.
Oh, but those are highly recommend checking out those films. They're very, very cool. I think they're really good movies.
Also, go check out The Last Drive-In.
Yeah, we're not sponsored by them, but holy shit, that's a good show.
What I mean, sponsored by Shudder.
Sponsored by Shudder. That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. But go check out The Last Drive-In. It's really fun if you're into horror and like horror. I don't know, like trivia and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because it's usually pretty fact heavy on like the movies they're doing. Wasn't this week, but I assume they're going back to normal content.
I don't know. I think they're keeping that bit for the whole season
I don't know.
because I think I started following Darcy on Twitter
Mm-hmm.
to tweet during the show and stuff. I think Darcy said that's the male girl outfit for the rest of the season.
Yeah, but that could be the male girl outfit for the rest of the season.
But
That
do you
doesn't
not
mean
think
they're
they would
keeping
keep the format?
They could keep the set, but I don't know if they'll keep that format.
I don't know.
If
I
that
like the
makes
format
sense.
because they had a bunch of they had a comedian come on. It was interesting.
That's fair.
They had a wrestler
Um,
come on. I thought he was fucking funny.
No, but they do stuff like that. They were less fact heavy than they normally are, which is different.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, go check that out. They're doing season 5 now.
Yeah,
every
season
Friday.
5. It'll be
At,
every Friday.
I assume
it
9.
Sucks that we work Friday nights.
So if you're interested, that's on Shudder. Aside from that, I don't have much.
No, I don't have anything else. I just want to talk about Joe Bob since it was relevant to the podcast. So I guess that leaves us with a choice, Benjamin.
Yeah.
Now, I just finished talking about how I love Italian films now. I don't love Italian. I have a respect for Italian films. I've only seen 2, but
By
they
the
were
same
so
director,
fucking
which
cool.
is not a very broad scope of Italian
No.
films.
But they were really good movies, and I liked them a lot.
That's fair.
I bought a Zombie 2 Blu-ray.
Oh, already?
Yeah,
Oh,
I bought it like
okay.
immediately. It's not here yet, but I'm very excited to watch it. So, keeping with the foreign cinema theme, I'm going back to Japanese horror.
Okay. You have spots 2 and 3 available.
2 and 3. 2. Hey, what's in spot 2, Ben?
All right. So today we're going to be watching One Cut of the Dead.
I've never heard of this. Okay. All right. This interests me. Let's go.
All right. You ready for this description?
Yeah, man.
Zombies. Who doesn't love them?
Fuck yeah, man. I'm stuff's staying on theme this week.
But it's a 2017 film.
Oh, it's new. Yes.
It's an hour and 36 minutes long, and it's not rated.
Okay. It's not PG-13. We're clear
Which
on
you're
that.
clear. You're not going to be scared.
Not scary.
Review scores. You ready?
Okay.
IMDb. 7.6 out of 10.
It's pretty solid.
Tomato meter. I'm just gonna. Do you want to guess this one first?
Oh God. Is it? Can you? It's either really high or really low because you're telling me to guess.
I know.
98%.
Mm-mm.
Oh. 42%.
Oh no.
No, it doesn't get. No. What is it, Ben?
100%
No way.
tomato meter. Yeah.
No way. Okay. Fuck yeah. 100%.
7.6 on
7.6
IMDb,
on IMDb.
and an audience score of 87%.
I'm excited. We just watched a sick Italian zombie movie. Technically 2, because
Yeah,
the
2
Beyond
zombie
has zombies
movies.
in it.
Barely.
Well, they're there. They're a menace. Very excited.
All right. So the next section's awards, and I just want to say this killed me getting this down. It
Oh,
has
yeah?
28 wins and 21 nominations.
This movie is so accredited.
These are mostly film festival awards,
Okay.
but I got them down.
Okay. This is about to be a slog.
Austin Fantastic Fest in 2018 gave it an audience award to Shinichiro Ueda for Best Film. The same film festival in the same year gave it a Horror Features Award, also to Shinichiro Ueda for Best Director. The awards of the Japanese Academy in 2019 gave one to Shinichiro Ueda for Best Editing. The Blue Ribbon Awards in 2019 gave it a Blue Ribbon Award for Best Film. The Brussels International Festival of Fantasy Film, or the BIFFF, in 2019 gave it an Audience Award. Also to Shinichiro Ueda, the Bucheon International Fantastic Film Festival 2018 gave it a European Fantastic Film Festival Federation, or EFFFF, Asian Award. Also, Shinichiro Ueda, the Phantasboa International Fantastic Film Festival in 2018 gave it an International Competition Award. Also to Shinichiro Ueda and the Enbu Seminar for Best Film. The Fantastic Costa del Sol International Film Festival in 2019 gave it a Unicorn Award. To Shinichiro Ueda for Best Director. The Faroe Island Film Festival in 2018 gave it a Golden Carp Film Award. For the Korean and Japanese genre, to Takashi Son for Best Cinematography. The Film Club's The Lost Weekend in 2019 gave it the Lost Weekend Award. To Shinichiro Ueda for Best Film. The Film Club's The Lost Weekend in 2019 also gave it a Lost Weekend Award to Harumi Shuhama for Best Supporting Actress. Same place also gave another weekend award to Shinichiro Ueda for film you will find yourself remembering the most. They also gave another one to Shinichiro Ueda for Lost Weekend Audience Favorite. It also got an Image Film Festival Netherlands 2019 Silver Scream Audience Award to Shinichiro Ueda. Got one from the La Roche-sur-Yon International Film Festival 2018, which gave it a Prix Special de Jour award to Shinichiro Ueda. The Mainichi Film Concours in 2019 gave it a Mainichi Film Concours Award to Shinichiro Ueda for Best Director. The Motel X Festival International de Cinema de Terra de Lisboa in 2018 gave it an Audience Award for Room Service. The Online Film Critics Society Awards in 2020 gave it an OFCS Award for Best Non-Theatrical Release. The Portland International Film Festival in 2019 gave it a jury prize to Shinichiro Ueda for Best of PIFF After Dark Sidebar. Bucheon International Fantastic Film Festival in 2018 gave it a European Fantastic Film Festival Federation Asian Award. San Diego Asian Film Festival in 2018 gave it an Audience Award to Shinichiro Ueda. The San Francisco Bay Area Film Critics Circle in 2019 gave it a Special Citation for Independent Cinema Award to Shinichiro Ueda. The San Sebastian Horror and Fantasy Film Festival in 2018 gave it an Audience Award to Shinichiro Ueda for Best Feature. The Singapore International Film Festival in 2018 gave it an Audience Choice Award to Shinichiro Ueda. The Overlook Film Festival in 2019 gave it an Honorable Mention Jury Award to Shinichiro Ueda. The Toronto Real Asian International Film Festival in 2018 gave it a Menkes Audience Choice Award to Shinichiro Ueda. The Udine Far East Film Festival in 2018 gave it a Silver Mulberry Audience Award to Shinichiro Ueda. And finally, the Yubari International Fantastic Film Festival in 2018 gave it a Fantaland Grand Prix Audience Award to Shinichiro Ueda and Enbu Seminar. That's it.
I shit you not. That took about 2.5 minutes. I was you were not looking at my face, I assume, because I was losing my marbles.
I could see you in the corner of my eye.
That is so many awards for
Bob,
so many different things.
I had to copy those all down.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you, Ben.
I don't know if I can do that again.
Look, okay, I think if they got more than like 10, you should like pick. Because that was so many.
So many.
There was like 28 of them, dude.
Yeah, the director
Crazy.
got most of them.
Yeah, a
They
lot
were
of them
just
were for the
mostly
director.
to the director. Not even for something specific. They were
No,
just to him.
Just best film, mostly.
Not even best film. They were just to Shinichiro.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So people really liked it. It went to a lot of film festivals. And it
I'm
won a lot of
honestly-
awards at film festivals.
I'm surprised I haven't heard of it. With how many awards this thing won at film festival and stuff.
I mean, it's foreign and non-theatrical. And that's kind of the killer.
Yeah.
Because, let's be honest, American audiences do not like to see foreign films.
That makes me sad. Because every foreign film I've seen, I've really liked.
Which is very frustrating because a lot of the times the reasoning doesn't make sense. Like, I'll talk to friends and I'm like, are you okay with watching a foreign film? And they're like, no. And I'm like, but you watch movies with subtitles on. And they're like, yeah, but I can't understand what they're saying. It's a very frustrating moment of, what are you talking about?
We've had this argument before. We've had this exact argument.
Because there's there's so many films out there that are not in English
Yeah, man.
and are great.
Look.
And if you just discredit them because they're not speaking in English, why?
Look,
Especially if you watch a movie with subtitles already. Like,
yeah, I watch movies with subtitles. I watch everything with subtitles just because I'm dumb and it's easier for me to read the things than hear them.
that's a separate issue. But
Yeah, it's a problem I have.
you're okay with foreign films because you're already doing the reading part.
Well,
so
I
it's
was about
fine.
to say, look, Ben, if you ever want a foreign film partner, I will watch any foreign film you throw at me. Every foreign film I've seen, I've loved.
I'm sure I can find one you don't like.
I'm sure you could, but I mean, that's not a very high bar.
It's not, but we could get there.
Like, I have really low standards, so you'd have to find something really bad for me to hate it.
I want to say a Serbian film isn't in English.
Okay, well, that you can't just show me the most fucked up thing anyone's ever made and then go, well, you don't like this thing.
This is a great basis for the rest of your life.
Yeah, like, what? Shut up. All right.
All right. Yeah, sorry that award section took a while, but I wrote all of those down, and I was like, I'm going to read every single last one of these.
I can't believe you
swear
made
to
it through all of
God.
them. There were a couple moments where you started to laugh, and I was like, is he going to break?
'Cause
Like, is
I was
this going
through
to be
so
bad?
many.
So many.
And that's just the wins. So 28 wins. It had
Yeah.
21 nominations that I just didn't mention,
That's crazy.
which is almost the same amount. It was a long list.
Man, I'm excited to watch this movie.
Director is, you should know his name by now. No, you just zoned me out. All right.
I didn't zone you out. I just don't know
It's-
how to pronounce it.
Shinichiro Ueda.
Yeah, see, the last name is the problem. It's
think-
Shinichiro, right?
Shinichiro.
Yeah, okay, so I got that right.
And then Ueda,
Ueda. Huh,
I
okay.
believe. He's also directed Special Actors in 2019.
Oh, so he did a movie after this, too. Okay.
Yeah. The writer, Shinichiro Ueda, he's one of them. He's done Populan in 2022 as like another thing he's written. The other writer's Ryoichi Wada, who's basically just written this movie.
Okay.
And but he also did Final Cut in 2022. He got a
Okay.
original story credit on that. I don't really have any notable actors for you today
Okay.
because this film used basically all unknown actors,
That's
like,
that's
no-name
exciting,
actors.
though. That's so exciting.
which is kind of cool. I like when films do that. I will say though that as an American who's not like super familiar with Japanese film, both
Yeah.
like TV show and movies, like I have some familiarity but not a lot. The things that a lot of these people have been in since and before are not things I recognized. I
Okay.
just didn't write them down. But they're still pretty small actors even nowadays.
Okay.
Budget for this film is estimated at 3 million yen, which is
Okay.
not a lot.
Do you know what that
That's-
is USD?
General rule of thumb, take off 2 zeros. So that's approximately
30,000?
Yep.
Okay. It's not a lot at all, but
no, that's not a lot.
it's some money.
The box office though,
Ooh.
in Japan,
Okay.
so just Japan,
Just
they
Japan.
made 3.12 billion yen.
Ooh. That feels so good. I love hearing movies do well like that. Especially
Worldwide.
stuff that like is a smaller release like this.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll get into that, but worldwide it made $31.2 million USD.
It's still not bad.
Yeah.
It's more than you fucking paid to make the movie. Way more.
Oh yeah, a lot more.
That's awesome. I love that.
I mean, $30,000 to
Yeah.
31 million.
Uh-huh. On top of
insane.
the yeah. That's awesome.
Basically, what happened is it only released to like no theaters in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
and then it did film festivals, and it did so well on film festivals out of the country that it got like a second release, like more thoroughly in Japan.
That's awesome.
And it just did really well. Country of origin, Japan, obviously. Japanese name, Kamera o Tomeru na.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of facts, but I'll give you the ones I have right now. So according to the director, the film is partially inspired by Ryoichi Wada's stage play Ghost in the Box. That's the other writer I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Ghost in the Box is like a play. There was some controversy where the director said he took some inspiration from that play because he saw it like 5 years prior to writing this
Yeah.
movie.
Okay.
And there was like some controversy on like how much inspiration there was. But
Huh.
eventually they settled it, and Ryoichi now has like a credit.
Oh, well,
in the
that's nice.
film.
That's good. I'm glad they settled all that stuff.
Next thing, the filming for this movie took place over 8 days in June of 2017. It was shot at the abandoned water filtration plant in Mito, Ibaraki.
They shot this movie in 8 days.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Lots of filming times are like that, where it's
I
usually
know.
less. It's a month or less usually is the general rule.
It's crazy to me though because like I guess a little bit of insight. I know how long it takes for us to record an audio only podcast.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if we had cameras or something and had to like shoot an actual movie with lines and stuff.
You have to
that
remember
seems
though,
crazy
they
to
do
me.
like they go hard and they do.
Yeah.
This is the only thing we're doing all day for 8 days.
Fair enough.
I mean, it takes us a long time to do an episode. But if we were like, all right, we're going to start at like 6 or 8 a.m. and we're going to go to like 10 or midnight and we're going to do that 8 days in a row, we could pump out so much content.
Oh, we could finish so many boards.
So it does make sense. It's apparently exhausting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I can imagine the toll that takes on the cast, the crew, and everybody else.
Final note I have, the film was the 7th highest grossing domestic film of 2018 and is like super notable for making over 1,000 times its budget.
Whoa, that's crazy. We've never had that. That's like that's the biggest scale I think we've done.
I
Well-
didn't have anything to check like how historic that was, but I think it was like record breaking.
Terrifier, the first one,
Did not
was-
make that much.
did not make that much. You're right.
No,
it made more-
1,000 times your budget is insane.
Yeah, but they only made Terrifier for $100,000.
Yeah, but Terrifier did not make.
Yeah. Terrifier 2, on the other hand, that made a lot of money in the box office.
That had a much higher budget.
That also had a much higher budget. You're right.
All right, well, that's all I got for right now.
Sorry,
So
I'm just talking about Terrifier 2 because
You wanna see it?
I want to watch it.
we've
I have
already
the Blu-ray.
outlined when you can watch it,
Yeah, we have.
and you just
We
haven't decided when you want to watch it. It's all on you,
I know. All right. Well, is that everything, Ben?
basically. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see you guys after the movie. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We just finished watching A Cut of the Dead.
Nope. That wasn't the name of the movie.
Was it not?
No, it's One Cut of the Dead.
One Cut of the Dead.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. It is your bad. God, Bob.
Anyway.
Such a bad host.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. Before we get into anything, even our reactions, I'm going to put this out here, and we say this too much at this point, but go watch this movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, 100% you have to watch it before
I
we talk about it.
I would say we could do like a hard spoiler
No.
section, but that's literally impossible.
Our whole description of this, when we get to our descriptions,
will ruin the movie.
are going to ruin the movie. Our spoiler-free section might even ruin the movie.
Yeah.
So, go watch it now.
Yeah.
It's streaming on Shudder, but I'm sure you can buy it other places.
Probably. If you like zombie movies, highly recommend.
Yeah.
Go watch.
If you like Japanese cinema,
Highly
go watch it.
recommend. Go watch it. Like this is one of the movies where before we even say a word, you have to see it because if you don't, it will ruin your experience.
yeah,
if you
anything we
anyway
say
do it.
will ruin it.
because it
You see?
it does
Can't even say
stuff
anything.
that like I just can't even. I never would have thought would
Yeah.
happen.
So on that note, we're going to go into the no spoiler section.
Minimal spoilers, as few as
But
we
it's
can
still
have.
probably minimal spoilers.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you think, Bob?
I think it's a really, really cool movie. It wasn't what I was well, okay, it's kind of what I was expecting. You know, zombie movie. I got that out of the gate, you know. This is what we're
Mhm.
starting with. Interesting concept. Like super unique concept, very, very cool. And personally for me, well, how do I put this without being spoilery? It relates to something that I really enjoy, so I thought it was super fun.
Yeah. No, I think I said this to you before we started filming. I'd heard about this movie,
Yeah.
and so I knew what was happening
Mhm.
in this film because I've heard about it a lot, but I hadn't gotten to see it yet. And so doing J-horror was like an excuse for me to go watch this movie.
For sure. And I will go ahead and preface this. I would consider this horror light.
Yeah, it's not very scary.
It's not very scary, but it's super fun.
It's very funny.
It's super funny, super fun. So if you want a fun, goofy zombie movie, highly recommend.
And I guess what I'm going to say here is I'm glad I got to put this on here. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah,
I
me too.
enjoyed
This movie's
myself.
fucking awesome. Like, yeah, it's not. I don't want to say it's not a masterpiece of a film, but because it's very good. But it's just a fun movie.
I don't know. It might be my favorite we've watched on this board so far.
I definitely had the best time.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's tough. That's
Yeah.
a tough one.
That's always a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else you want to put in this no spoiler section? Or are we about to spoil the crap out of this movie?
I think we have to spoil the.
Oh,
crap
we're
out
going
of
to
this
spoil the
movie.
crap out of this
and
movie.
that feels so bad.
It feels so bad. So, once again, half the fun of this movie is getting to experience it. So, I cannot stress this enough. Please stop listening to this right now and go watch it if you haven't seen it.
If you have any interest in this film, for the love of God, go watch it.
All right?
Like,
That's your final warning.
I'm trying to sell it as hard as I can.
So, I'm going to spoil the crap out of this right now.
we have to.
Okay. So, the film opens up on One Cut of the Dead. And to be honest, it's a really cheesy, bad acted zombie film.
It's
you know?
great. I like that shit. though.
Bob loves it. But it's
fun.
it's
I
really
was having
bad.
such a
It's
good
really
time.
cheesy. The zombies move like crazy. One guy's just shaking his arms all over the place like he's dancing.
Yeah, man.
It's really, really bad. The acting's not great. People pause and look at the camera.
People acknowledge the camera when they shouldn't.
But it's interesting. It's
Yeah.
definitely interesting.
For sure.
And, we watched that for a while. And then eventually the film ends. Credits go up.
About 45 minutes into the movie.
About 37, actually.
Well, yeah.
And once the credits finish, we pull out, and it goes 1 month earlier.
Yeah.
And so the rest of the film is us learning that first 37 minutes
Of actual, like, horror movie.
Yeah, so that first One Cut of the Dead is One Cut of the Dead that's filmed in this universe where they're filming One Cut of the Dead.
Yeah.
So the rest of the movie is kind of the background of how that 37 minutes got made.
And it's so cool.
It's so funny because what has happened is this director who mostly does, I think they say, karaoke videos.
Yeah.
And like, was it commercials or something?
Yeah, it was
like
something
drama
like-
commercials.
Yeah.
It's
Something
it's-
super small time.
Basically gets approached by the studio who's opening up a zombie channel on their network, and they've basically approached multiple, assumedly much larger directors with this idea, and all of the directors have laughed in their face and then gone, "Fuck you, no way."
We literally can't make it. It's impossible.
This idea is to do a live on television 30-minute zombie drama.
Yep.
One cut. So it's one take. The whole thing from
The
start
whole thing
to
one
end
take.
is one take. And our director, man, laughs in their face. But he doesn't tell them no because apparently he's a pushover. And
Yeah.
so from this point on, it's him setting up the filming. And I think that's the first half of this section.
Yeah.
And then the last half is them filming it
Mm-hmm.
during the one cut take. But everything going wrong that can possibly go wrong.
Yeah.
And it's so cool because when I described that first version of One Cut of the Dead that we get to watch in those first 37 minutes, I said it was really cheesy and bad acted and there was a bunch of like problems.
Yeah.
We get to see why all those mistakes were in there.
So funny.
Because in the background, it's like all the actors are messing up. There's all these issues, and because it's live, they have to keep going.
Yeah.
And it's basically, we get to see the crew improvising,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I think, what you were talking about that you love.
Yeah, man. So cool. So cool. I have such a respect for crew members on, like, movies and, like, shows. Because I did that. I understand how hard that is. The crew that did this is really, really good.
Yeah.
Like, they are on top of their shit, even when things go wrong.
And he means the crew in the movie.
Yeah.
Because, like, they're just on top of it. They're ad-libbing. The director guy, I think he's going the hardest because there's a director in One Cut of the Dead, like the 37-minute long One Cut of the Dead, who gets in a car accident,
Mm-hmm.
the actor for that director. And so the director of the second movie, One Cut of the Dead, the full movie, has to act as the 37-minute One Cut of the Dead director.
Yeah.
And yet he has to run off all the time to, like, fix the mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's just cool getting to see the crew in the background, how they're pulling off these shots.
For sure. It's super interesting.
The one that really sticks out for me is they're doing blood splatter at one point, and we just get to see, we don't obviously see it in the 37-minute One Cut of the Dead, but it's this woman sitting, like, with her legs around a bucket of blood. She's got a hose, and she's sucking in blood with the hose and then shooting it on someone.
Yeah.
And it's the funniest thing. But that's just, like, backstage stuff.
Yeah, man.
And it's so cool.
I've never had to do anything like that. But I did have to build a contraption that would create snow when you pulled a lever. And that was also a pain in the
It's just
ass.
so cool getting to see all
It's
that
so cool.
background
Yeah,
stuff.
I love stuff like that. It's one of my favorite parts of, like, cinema.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah.
And something even cooler is there were multiple times during the first 30-ish minutes whenever they're showing us One Cut of the Dead for the first time where I kept going, why isn't it showing us what is happening right now?
Yeah, Bob didn't get it.
I was like, why is it staying on this person's face screaming for so long while there's stuff happening in the background?
I don't know if you looked over to me while we were watching it, but I had the biggest grin on my face every time you would, like, question stuff
Yeah.
because I knew what was happening and I knew what, like, we would end that first bit.
Yeah.
And best part is you didn't kind of realize.
Yeah, I was mad.
You were like, wait, it's been an hour?
I was like, it's been an hour and a half? No fucking way. It's been like 30 minutes.
But yeah, you're right. They would show, like, not the action and they'd focus on someone else.
Yeah.
And you kept getting confused.
Mm-hmm.
Why was that, Bob?
Because things were going poorly on the other side. And
Yeah.
they were trying to fix it.
It was basically either them trying to fix stuff where there's been a mistake,
Yeah.
or because it's live, they're doing, like,
Makeup.
the practical
Yeah.
stuff. The big one is they'll zoom away from someone when they're, like, getting their head chopped off,
Yeah.
which is great because they have these prosthetic puppets with, like, no heads, and they'll, like,
Mhm.
throw the head and then splash some blood on the camera.
good.
Oh, it's great. I don't want to like reference some of the specific like issues.
There's
There's some really funny ones.
some really good
But
ones.
like at this point, you could still go watch the film. It won't be as good
it won't be
now
as
that
good
we've spoiled
because
it.
You don't expect the pivot.
No, it's hinted at because
For
like
sure.
they keep talking to the camera occasionally,
Mhm.
and there's these fuck ups in the first 37 minutes that are like, huh?
Like the boom guy just sitting in the same spot for like 17
Yeah.
shots.
And I think you picked up on that, but you didn't realize that it was like a film inside a film.
No. I was like, why is he just sitting there? Why isn't he helping?
Ah, yeah, it's so good. But there's some really funny.
The funniest
bits.
reason of why he's sitting there. The funniest reason of the show.
Are we
movies-
gonna say that?
No, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay.
But let's just say the boom guy has some problems.
Yeah.
And it is hysterical.
I think it might go in the outtakes. I'm sure the outtakes will be so spoiler
Oh,
heavy.
Yeah, warning now. If you listen to the outtakes for this episode,
The whole
my
movie
God.
will probably be spoiled because
Yeah.
we react to what happens in the second half of One Cut of the Dead, and we're like, oh, that's why they did this,
in the original cut,
and we
yeah.
lose it.
Some of it
It's
is
so funny, and just watching them like have to cope is so cool. It's so cool.
Watching the director cope with being the director in the movie and the actual director is so funny. Also, his wife is like a highlight of this movie. She's so fucking funny.
Now is the name of
Yeah.
the character in the first One Cut of the Dead. She's the makeup lady.
Mhm.
That's who Bob's talking about.
Yeah, so good.
Do we have any other reactions for this film besides it's great?
No, I don't have anything.
It was just great.
It's good. It is a spin on a zombie movie that I did not expect. It's lighthearted. It's fun. It's interesting.
It's definitely a horror movie though.
It is definitely
Like
a horror
it's
movie.
not scary,
No.
but the fact that it's bloody
Oh, there's so much blood.
and like don't get me wrong, One Cut of the Dead, the 37-minute intro part is just spoofy. It's like a spoofy bad
Yeah, zombie horror.
B movie zombie movie.
Which is fine.
And
I enjoy that.
that's
stuff.
great. I like that. It's definitely for people who are like fans of the genre.
For sure.
But the whole film as a total, like that first half and the second half, it's just a nice look into how like horror films are made and just
For
films
sure,
in general.
for sure.
And also the fact that sometimes your producers tell you to do stupid stuff and you just got to do it anyways.
God, sometimes you just gotta eat it.
Yeah.
Just do whatever.
You have anything else you want to add there? I got some things I want to talk about.
No,
So
I
it-
got nothing else right now.
Okay, you're good?
I'll wait. I'll bring up stuff if it is relevant.
Okay, but nothing right now.
No.
Okay. I'm going to ask you something
Okay.
and I don't think you got it.
Okay.
So the first One Cut of the Dead, that first 37 minutes.
Yeah.
Did you pick up on the fact that it's actually one take?
Yeah.
No, Bob. It's one take. They filmed an actual 37-minute one take.
Yeah. It's one camera the whole time. I know.
Yeah, with no cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not realize how insane that is?
No, it's crazy. I'm aware of how insane that is. It's crazy as shit. But I mean, like, it's impressive for sure.
Bob, that's like one of the longest one takes ever.
I think what was that movie that came out recently that did something very similar? Was it Dunkirk? I think Dunkirk has like a 40-minute one-shot sequence or something.
It's
Or
insane.
like that whole movie is shot in like 2 shots or something stupid like that. There's like a single cut.
Anyways, 37 minutes. It's insane.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially like how do I put this? The stamina that you have that's required by A, the dude running the camera,
Yes.
B, the actors because they are either constantly on screen or off screen making, noises. It's just like it's impressive because of there's acting for 30 minutes straight is hard. Like
Mhm.
doing anything for long periods of time is difficult. So it's impressive to see A, the crew getting that done effectively, but B, the actors doing a good job of keeping it up.
But what makes it even more impressive is not only the fact that they had to do all those practical effects, like this was being like shown live,
Yeah.
but more importantly, and I think the thing that makes this like 37 long take a lot more impressive than like some other ones I've seen, they had to fake all those fake mess ups.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
like
true.
think about that. They had to do all those fake mess ups
Mm-hmm.
in one shot,
Yeah.
which doesn't
Fuck.
sound weird, but like there's a lot of very awkward stuff
There's a lot of really, really funny awkward
that they have to film specifically being that awkward.
Mm-hmm.
And that is such a hard thing to do.
my God.
Like to fake and to do it in one cut because you have to do it perfectly every time.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how many times they recorded that one take like that.
Wow, Bob, that's such a great transition here because I was about to tell you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you actually know? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to take a guess?
Well, they reference at the beginning of the movie that it took them 42 takes to get a certain scene. So I'm going to guess 42.
No,
Okay.
that'd be insane.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, that's what I'd expect.
Yeah, same.
6. They did it in
No
6.
way.
Do you know how
No
insane
way.
that is?
Because you'd have to. It's 37 minutes of perfection.
Yeah,
Like you can't fuck it up.
it's 37 minutes of not fucking it up, and they
And
did
then
it.
if you fuck it up, you have to do it again.
Yeah.
And like all that prep work, all the cleaning up of the blood.
Mhm. The
and,
cleaning
like-
up of the blood's the worst part because there's
Yeah.
so much blood in this film.
Yeah, people just get annihilated.
6 takes, 6
God.
tries.
That's crazy. There's no way.
Yeah, and keep in mind they did this in 8 days.
I know. God.
I think you could probably only do maybe 1, max maybe 2 takes a day.
Yeah, I mean, because they're long takes.
Yeah,
And
and
they take so much time.
that's just a 37-minute like One Cut of the Dead like mini
Mhm.
movie. All the stuff in the second half of the movie where we're seeing the background stuff, that's separate footage that they had to film reenacting the scenes they did in the 37 minutes.
Some of it. Some of it is
No,
some of
Bob,
the same footage.
because what I wanted you to sit through the credits of this movie for, the final credits, is they're showing B-roll of the movie being made, and you notice that the crew filming the movie is different than the crew we get to see in the second half of
yeah.
the movie.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So
It
they-
is different.
For the second half of the movie, when we're seeing like the 37 minutes getting made, they actually recreated those scenes as exactly as they could and then had a secondary crew behind them.
That's crazy because I genuinely thought they reused some of that footage.
It
'Cause
looks-
some of it is like pixel perfect.
Some of it's pixel perfect.
Like crazy perfect.
Yeah.
Like the scene, this is not a spoiler because you'll see this in the first 37 minutes of the movie. The first scene where the director is yelling at the female lead.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was the exact same take. Genuinely.
No.
That's crazy because
Yeah.
he delivered the lines the exact same and her reaction was the exact same.
Yeah, and you know, I think that maybe it's that they have this third crew standing behind the second crew that's standing behind the first crew, but it's not because we get to see some of them. We get to see this third crew doing the makeup and some of those B-roll footage.
Yeah, like putting prosthetics on people and stuff.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, they just remade some of those scenes.
God, that's crazy.
which is
that is insane.
wild. All right, that's super cool.
That
All
is
that
really
stuff.
fucking cool.
The last thing I want to talk about here, like kind of the last big note I have, I think it needs to bring up that talking about this movie is very confusing, right?
Sure.
Because this is like the inception of movies, just straight up. You've seen Inception, right?
Absolutely not.
Oh, do you know what Inception is?
Yes.
Do you know the content?
Yeah, it's a dream inside of a dream.
Yeah, a dream inside of a dream. This is a movie inside a movie.
Yeah.
That's why I have to be like One Cut Dead 2, One Cut of the Dead 1, where it's
Yeah.
37 minutes. There's a lot in this one.
Yeah.
It's not just 2. It's not just 2.
They're 3.
All right, so there's the first One Cut of the Dead, which
Yeah.
is that first 37 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 37-minute TV drama that exists inside the second One Cut of the Dead, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That One Cut of the Dead is in itself a movie because we get to see credits for that One Cut of the Dead. That One Cut of the Dead, the second one, has ending music over it. And
Yeah.
when it does the final pullback, it goes to that weird screen static that we see the first one go to.
Mm-hmm.
So that second One Cut of the Dead is a movie inside of the third One Cut of the Dead.
You made that up. What?
Yeah, because the third One Cut of the Dead is like the one that's being filled by the third camera crew.
Interesting. Okay.
And then
Yeah.
we're watching the whole thing together.
Okay.
Is the fourth One Cut of the Dead.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Because they end the second one with that weird TV static.
Yeah.
That's that movie.
Yeah.
And then we get to see the credits
Yeah.
on the next one
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
with the third crew.
And then
So I guess together it's 4.
yeah.
Because the fourth one is the one we're watching.
Yeah, I was about to say there's
It's
the original zombie
Yeah.
version, the version of the crew making the movie.
Yeah.
Then there's the version of the crew filming the crew making the movie.
Yeah.
And then there's the version we're watching.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Which, I mean, technically you could consider the third one and the fourth one the same thing.
That's what I was doing, but I mean it makes sense to separate them a little bit because
Yeah.
like, they don't know that we watched the original before that, so it's all cut differently.
I
and
mean,
everything.
sure, that third crew does, but I
Yeah.
think it's that distinction for me of they end the second one with the zone, like the zoom out
Mm-hmm.
that like cuts that.
Yeah, it makes sense. God damn.
It's just a lot.
It's a lot.
So it's a lot to talk about because there's like 3 or 4 One Cuts of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
They're all one movie.
They're all one movie. They're all in one movie at least.
Yeah. Confusing stuff to talk about.
It is. It's tough, man.
Oh, but I really liked it.
I did too. I was surprised.
Because you started out kind of grooving on how cheesy it was,
Yeah.
and then it switched, and you were like, I don't know if I like this that much. And then what were your end thoughts? Did you like it? Did you like how they pulled it all together
Yeah. No,
with getting to see the background
Mhm.
stuff
for sure. I was worried that it was just gonna like kind of
peter out?
Yeah. I was worried that it was just kind of go like, okay, 1 month ago they recorded this thing and it was just going to show like a lot of the pre-work and then just be like, oh yeah, this is how they made it, without actually showing us how they made it with all the mess ups and stuff. I thought it was going to be a lot more removed from the actual filming of the thing, but it wasn't. It was like genuinely like really good because it showed the progression of like, here are the actors when they get the roles. Here's the audition.
Sorry to interrupt you.
What's
we
up?
didn't count all the one cuts of the dead. I'm just I gotta cut it.
There's
in
not
here.
a fifth one.
No, Bob. So the 37-minute, right?
Yeah.
That is actors filming one cut of the dead. Because the actors in that are filming a show called One Cut of the Dead, right?
Yeah.
And then they're attacked by zombies.
Mhm.
That's One Cut of the Dead as well.
yeah. Jesus fucking
And then
Christ.
that is being filmed by another crew.
Yeah.
And that in itself is One Cut of the Dead.
Yeah.
And that's being filmed by a crew.
Yeah.
That are then put on camera
Mm-hmm.
to create the last One Cut of the Dead.
And then yeah. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Was that 5?
I think so. I think we're
I think
at
that
5.
just adds one more.
Yeah, 5. What was I saying?
Something about it not petering out, and then we get to see the behind the scenes.
No, I don't know.
I got
what was-
distracted by
I
having
got
that
distracted. too.
brilliant realization that there was another One Cut of the Dead in this movie.
I was just worried that it was going to be too far removed from the actual filming to really be poignant.
Yeah, that's true, because when they go back 1 month, it's very unrelated.
Yeah, it's super unrelated.
And then it kind of is like a pyramid where it's far away, and then
Mhm.
it kind of comes to a point where everything just comes together. Some might
I
like
want
say
to
like
punch you in your
a
face.
human pyramid almost, where things just come together. You gotta lift it all up at the end too.
I thought you said we weren't spoiling.
Hold it on
spoiling
your
anything.
shoulders. I'm not spoiling anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
You're a bitch. Oh my
yeah,
god.
they really bring it together, and I think they bring it home in a way that's very funny because
Yeah.
it's that slow realization of, oh my god, they're showing us why things went wrong and
Mhm.
how, and just going like, oh my god, that because things are so unrelated to the movie
Yeah.
we get to see when we first
Oh,
start
yeah.
out. It's just like they slowly give you tidbits of what happens, like the stuff with the boom mic guy.
Oh my god.
They give it to you in the first 10 seconds of you seeing him.
Yeah.
They tell you why he was sitting down for those 17 takes.
Mhm.
And it takes you a minute, but then they get there, and it's like
And then
so funny.
It's so funny. So good. Okay. We haven't talked about it at all really. I want to break this down. Not break I just want to talk about the relationship between the director of the film and his daughter.
He meets the director in. We've been referring it to as the second One Cut of the Dead, but it's technically the third One Cut of the Dead.
The director of the
Yeah, Bob.
I'm talking about the director that shot the 37-minute One Cut of the Dead.
Okay.
That also plays the director in that version of One Cut of the Dead.
That's filming the other One Cut of the Dead.
yeah. At first, I did not give a fuck about his subplot that we get after the time skip. Or I guess the time backtrack.
Yeah, and
Of
his
1 month.
subplot is that he's kind of a beaten down guy.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of having to be a pushover.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just what he has to do because he's a low kind of standards director
Yeah.
just trying to make money and ends
Mhm.
meet, but also he's kind of feeling alienated from his daughter, like they've
And-
grown apart.
We get to meet his daughter, and it is such a sweet subplot to this movie.
Oh, it's so sweet.
nice. It like
The way they wrap it up,
it's so good, dude.
it's so perfect.
Also, going back to their relationship, his daughter does such a good job at saving his ass
Yeah.
throughout the movie. Like anytime he's about to make a dumb choice, she's always just like, "What are you doing?"
Well, it's more like she's the only one there to support her dad when no one
Yeah.
else will, and
Yeah.
it's super sweet.
It's so
Um,
good.
I also think it's really interesting for you to mention that you didn't care about the director's subplot because we come off that first 37-minute, that second version of One Cut of Dead, the 37-minute one, and Bob's like, I hate that guy
Well, because I was mad.
because the character he plays is not great.
No, the character he
And it-
plays in the 37 minutes is a piece of
And
shit.
it's very funny because it's the exact opposite of
Yeah.
how that character is in the next One Cut of the Dead version.
yeah.
Oh, it's wild.
It's so because he's just a fucking dickhead with a camera.
Mm-hmm.
He's just the worst piece of shit.
So it's
God.
just it's cool also to see like the switch up there because it's not just that director character. All the characters we get to see in that first 37-minute One Cut of the Dead are actors in this next One Cut of the Dead version.
Yeah.
Just how like they're actors in that first One Cut of the Dead version filming another One Cut of the Dead version. So their personalities change like
Drastically.
because they're different people than the characters they're
Yeah,
playing.
like the main male actor in the first version of One Cut of the Dead,
who's dressed as a zombie,
who's dressed as a zombie,
but is not a zombie.
but is not a zombie, is a total sweetheart in that part. He's a dickhead outside of
Yeah,
that.
he's just like the most diva actor ever.
Yeah.
And it's just so
it's
fun.
So weird. It's so interesting. No, I will not. I'll keep my mouth shut. I wanted to talk about one little thing that has made me laugh so hard because it took us so long to realize what was happening.
Do you want to just say we're gonna do a heavy? Oh my god!
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious, dude.
We'll just.
There's no I don't know what
We're
to
not
do
gonna
here.
spoil it because, see, here's the thing. You could go watch the movie, and while we spoiled the main gimmick of this film, being
Yeah.
like a film inside a film inside a film inside a film, all named the same thing,
Yeah.
which is ludicrous. It must have been so confusing while writing the script.
No idea.
While we spoiled that, all the gags of how things tie together, we haven't spoiled basically at all.
Yeah.
So I don't want to mention them because
I don't either.
you can still go watch this movie, and while it won't be as cool, it'll still be
Yeah.
hilarious
Oh.
because this movie is very funny.
It's so funny.
I will say the one Bob's mentioning that really made him laugh. It involves, we'll say, the dancing zombie. That's how I'm gonna describe him. And it was such a
So
realization of they built it up again from the first 10 seconds we see this guy,
Yeah.
and then it's like it took us so long to get there, because
They lay so many hints.
they lay hints, but they do it in not obvious ways,
Yeah.
and it's not until all the factors fall together that you're like,
oh my
God.
It's so
that's
good.
what happened.
That's something else about this movie that I fucking love.
Script
It is-
writing's great.
The script writing is insane.
Um,
Because not only are you juggling the script for the original One Cut of the Dead, you're managing the script for the third version of One Cut of the Dead.
I'm sorry. Remember, there's the script for the One Cut of the Dead.
Yeah.
That's being filmed in One Cut of the
Yeah,
Dead.
so
that's being filmed in the other One Cut of the Dead. That's
it's
a part of One Cut of the
so
Dead.
difficult for them to to have all these layers. and
Yeah.
to stack them so perfectly and to get them to come together and for things to tie together in the end of the writing is so good.
Yeah.
This movie is such a immaculate take of what can we do with tying all these little intricate pieces together.
It's such a labor of love.
It's
in
such
the
a
best
labor
way
of love
possible.
and an intricate. It's like the perfect puzzle.
And it's so cool to see that and be like, okay, this guy had basically no money making
Yeah.
this.
Uh-huh.
I mean, obviously, 30,000 USD is a lot.
That's a lot, but it's not a lot when it comes to movies.
That's nothing when it comes to movies.
Exactly.
And to get the level of just stuff he got into this movie,
There's so much stuff.
so cool.
This is one of those movies where I go, this is not a nothing movie. This is an everything movie.
Yeah. Like,
So much stuff
I
is
don't think
happening.
I could remake this movie on $30,000.
Absolutely not. Are you kidding me?
Even knowing how he did it, I'm
Yeah,
like,
holy shit.
oh my god.
It even then, that's $30,000, but he had, so many extras. There are so many background characters in this
Some of
movie.
the sets are expensive.
And some of the sets are crazy. And I'm just sitting there like, oh
And
my
he did
god.
it all in 8 days. If you didn't do this in 8 days, it's even more. Or if you do more than 6 of those 37-minute takes.
I just remembered this was shot in 8 days.
Yeah. So the whole thing's so impressive behind the scenes and such a cool movie.
Man.
I'm just
Man.
this movie makes me geek out
Me too,
in
man.
the best way possible.
Oh my god. Man, what I've had such a good weekend of movies.
All right.
Wow.
Did you have anything else to say? Because we're just basically going, wow, I love this thing so much.
It's so good.
So do you have anything else constructive to say? Or is that where we're going to leave it and then go to our recommendations?
I don't. I want to talk about it so bad, but I can't
I
because
know.
it's.
I think we've done a
God.
good level of talking about it
without
without
spoiling
completely
anything.
ruining it.
Because there's. I want to. Oh, this is.
I mean,
is
you'll
so
get to
frustrating.
hear us reacting to it in the outtakes.
It's true. If you once again,
This might be our longest outtakes ever. Might.
do you want to tell them how many you marked?
I got. So this includes the mark for me telling Bob how many marks we
yes,
got.
because he marked my reaction.
I marked 110.
For reference, last week's episode, Bone Tomahawk, had 28. He got 5 times as many, almost.
Because
4 times as many.
We'd react to one thing and then we'd stop, and then we'd react to a completely unrelated thing like 30 seconds later.
Insanity. The
It was-
edit on this is going to be
It was
crazy.
funny. We were talking the whole time.
Because it's
laughing.
just a fun, good movie.
This would be going into our recommendations. Great movie to watch with friends.
Oh, for
especially
sure.
friends who are into film or just acting
for sure.
in general. Because
Oh, yeah.
you had a great time because you do play stuff.
Yeah, I work in theaters. I do.
So
I build sets. I propped shows. I stage managed a musical. I'm so ingrained into production of stuff.
So I'm sure getting to see that behind the stage stuff
Oh,
was
so
probably the coolest
cool.
part of the film
so
for you.
Cool.
For me, it was that stuff too, but also just from a nerdy film perspective of getting to see mess ups is so cool,
Oh, it's so cool.
and how people recover because
oh
they
my
have
God.
to.
I have so many good fuck up stories of like when I was like stage crew. Like one time, this is kind of it's a fuck up. Basically, I wear glasses, and
Wait, you
there's
do?
yeah, I do. Sorry to let you know, Ben. And there was this guy on stage, and there's a scene where he takes his glasses off and shakes them angrily at somebody. Well, he did it a little too hard, and he shattered his glasses. So you know what he did when he came backstage? Because I was standing on one of the wings, about to hand props. He just said, "Hey, can I have your glasses?" And just took them and wore those for the rest of the show. Because what else was he gonna do? He can't just not have his glasses.
Did he just break the frame?
Oh, he fucking crushed them in his
he
grip.
broke the frame. I thought you were saying he like broke the glass in the center. I was like, can you just put those back on?
No. He like bent the fuck out of it. Our props department was mad.
I would be mad too.
I was mad because I was
Ruining
blind the rest of
stuff.
the show.
Were you doing lights that show? 'Cause
No,
that would've
I was
sucked to
just
do
no.
lights.
I was just off in the wings, moving set pieces and.
Oh,
handing
then
out
you're fine
props.
without glasses.
Yeah. I didn't need them.
I thought you were doing lights, and it's like, how do you do lights without glasses?
I don't know. No, but yeah, like just being able to like have that piece of relatable content for me is so cool. Like
Yeah.
it adds so much to this because I'm like, oh yeah, I've experienced something similar.
So if you got a friend for that, you know,
Highly recommend.
highly recommend. For actual recommendations, what do you got though?
If you're into zombie movies, I think
Maybe
it's a decent
it's an interesting
flick.
zombie movie.
Yeah, it's an interesting zombie movie. That's the thing. It's different than any other zombie movie
At
I've
least
ever
the
seen.
37 minutes are the first 37 minutes are a zombie movie.
I would say the rest of it's also a zombie movie with the way they like. Come on.
Mm.
Well, at least one of them is
Some of them
basically
is
a zombie.
Kind of zombie, yeah.
Yeah. I want to say this. If you're into meta movies, I think this is very meta.
Oh, it's so meta. Bob, there's
Super
like
meta.
5 one cuts of the dead.
Yeah. So that's like an interesting take for sure. Meta movies. If you want something horror light, as in scary light, not bloody light. This movie's bloody as fuck. It's gross.
Yeah, but it's funny blood
but it's funny blood
because it's so unserious.
Yeah. Let's see. If you're a fan of practical effects, some of the effects of this movie are really, really cool. Because not only do they look good, but you get to see how they do them,
Yeah,
which is awesome.
and then how they get fucked up.
And then how people fuck them up. If you want a feel-good movie, this movie is a feel-good movie. I feel
Yeah.
great after. It's been so long since we watched the movie, and I've gone, man, I had a good time.
I think the movie ended, and Bob was like, "Oh my god, a happy ending! We haven't gotten one of these before."
Yep. Awesome. So yeah, those are my recommendations.
All right, for me, if you like J-horror, this is super cool. It's
Yeah, for
very
sure.
different than most J-horror because like the general kind of very popular J-horror is supernatural
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Which this is definitely not supernatural.
No.
And also, we haven't done a lot of supernatural J-horror on this board. In
No.
fact, you could say we've done none, unless you're
No.
cussing Tetsuo, but that's its own weird bullshit.
That's supernatural.
So if you like J-horror, this is like a unique version of it. Kind of different than probably what you're used to, so that's cool. On a similar note, it's also pretty close to a comedy. So
Yeah.
if you want to see some Japanese comedy movies or some Japanese drama movies and you're more comfortable with J-horror, but that sounds cool, check this one out because it's so different.
It's so cool.
Like Bob said, if you like zombie movies, maybe check this one out. I'd argue that only the first 37 minutes are truly a zombie movie.
Sure.
However, if you like good zombie movies, that's not going to be for you.
No.
But if you like really, really bad, like B-movie zombie movies, like I'm talking bottom of the barrel, like cheesy bad, like they didn't want to do any retakes.
Oh, I love it.
The first 37 minutes are hilarious
It's so
because
good.
they're so bad in like the best way possible.
Mhm.
Like it looks like it could be a student film but with a budget.
Do you want to know what I thought in my head the instant we saw the opening scene of this movie?
What?
I went, this looks like a student film. That was what I literally
Yeah.
thought that in my head. I went, this is a student film. What's happening?
Because don't they shoot the first part like it's actually the original
Mhm.
One Cut of the Dead?
Yeah.
Oh, and then they come back. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does look pretty fake.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, what's happening here?
Do you think that One Cut of the Dead was also filming a One Cut of the Dead?
I hope
Because they
not.
don't tell us what that original script was.
No, they actually don't. Yeah. You're right. They don't.
And I wonder if that was also a One Cut of the Dead.
I'm gonna-
In my head canon it is, so that we get to 36, that we get to 6 versions of One Cut of the
6.
Dead.
There are 6 versions of this movie in the movie.
But then that version would also be another version of One Cut of the Dead filming One Cut of the Dead.
You're this is going too far. I think we've capped it
Inception.
at 5. 5 is the cap.
We've reached base level. So zombie movies, J-horror. If you have any friends that are like into like
Production of stuff.
production of movies, whether that be like from a purely like nerdy standpoint like me or from like a practical standpoint like Bob, super cool. Aside from that, it's a cool foreign film.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
funny. It's not very scary, but there's a lot of blood. I just think it has a lot for everyone. Like,
Yeah.
this is a great movie for if I have someone I want to show a movie to and I'm not sure what they're going to be into,
Mm-hmm.
as long as I know they're okay with foreign films,
Yeah.
I think I could pop this on and have a good time with them.
Oh yeah.
That's-
This is one of those ones where I'm just like, man, I want to buy this already.
Yeah.
Because like it is such a fun movie.
Now, the only thing I will say for recommendations here, kind of my disclaimer, and it's something I did for Bob, you can't give away anything about this movie.
You gotta keep your mouth shut.
You got to get them to cover their eyes while you're putting the movie on so they don't read the description or anything.
Yep.
The only thing I told Bob about this was like, hey, zombies.
Yeah. I mean
And
that was the
that's
intro.
that's be the only thing I tell someone about. I'd be like, hey, there's zombies in this.
Yeah, it's a Japanese zombie movie.
Maybe don't even give them that. I'd say I'm going to put on this movie. You're going to have fun.
I mean, zombies is
It's pretty
immediately seen.
yeah.
So it's fine, but you know.
Yeah, I just give them nothing because letting someone figure it out is half the fun of this.
Yeah. It's so cool.
That's it for my recommendations. Do you want to go to
That's it.
rating?
Oh, this is hard, Ben. This is hard. This hurts my heart because, like, wow, this movie is so fucking cool, and I like it so much, and it does so many cool things.
You're gonna be a bastard, man.
I don't know if I can give it a 5 because I don't really have any complaints.
Well, then give it a 5. Bob's like, I don't want to on principle, but I can't find a reason not to.
You're correct. I don't have any reason not to, but out of principle of like, I feel like we want to reserve 5s for like something that like defined a genre, you know, or like
Mhm.
did something absolutely insane.
Do you need me to rate it before you go so you have some time to decide?
No,
Okay.
5. This movie's great.
Well, there we go. We got there.
I like this movie so much. Such a good movie. Oh.
I just love how you fought that.
Well, because my only other 5 is The fucking Exorcist. And I don't want to say that this movie is as good as The Exorcist. I had a better time on this movie than I did watching
Oh,
The
yeah.
Exorcist. They're both super good movies. This is just, for me, it's everything I want.
What are my 5s? The Exorcist, and there was one more that you didn't. You gave it a 4.5.
You 5'd Nope, but then changed your answer later.
No, I know.
No, you 5'd.
What's the?
Oh, man.
We don't
watched
count
it
Nope.
recently.
Yeah.
Oh, what was that? Oh, you got mad. Because I didn't give it a 5, and you did.
Gonna go look at my boards.
What fucking movie was that, bro? I remember that now.
Yeah, because I know we don't count. We don't
Mungo.
count. Nope. It was Lake Mungo. Yeah.
Lake Mungo. That movie's also very good.
So this is going for my third 5.
Nice.
Right here. That's
Nice.
why I was gonna be mad if you didn't give it a 5, because
No.
then I'd be at 3 and you'd still be at 1. No, I think this movie is great because,
Oh,
like,
it's so good.
as always, I try to go off a scale so I can be semi-objective, so that we get a nice mix of just how much we enjoyed it versus.
Well, that's why Night of the Lepus got a really high score for me.
Fuck you, Bob. You
That
bitch.
movie is good.
But it's objectively bad. But this movie, I think, honestly deserves a 5
Yeah, man.
because it sets out to be. I don't even know what it set out to be. I think it set out to be just a movie filming a movie.
Yeah.
And instead of just doing that simple concept, it's like, all right, let's actually film that first movie, show it. We're going to make it as obscene as possible,
Yep.
trick the audience that that's the whole film.
Yeah, man. Halfway through when you see
Because-
credits start rolling, I lost it.
Remember, this went at, like, this showed mostly at, like, film festivals.
Oh, man.
So the audience wouldn't know. They'd be thinking this is a 37-minute short film.
Oh, that's why it has like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And then they'd be shown an actual film afterwards. And it's the coolest trick ever.
It's so cool.
The only reason you didn't know is I told you it was an hour and 36 minutes.
Yeah. It's the only reason I knew.
But the audience
Even then, I was saying, man, that's a short hour
and I kind of
36
convinced
minutes.
you. I don't know if you saw when you started questioning it, I slowly scrolled up on the phone so you couldn't check the timestamp.
God damn you.
But yeah, I think that's such a cool execution because they took the idea of a film inside of a film and they took it above and beyond because they knew what they were going to do to trick people.
yeah, for sure.
And then they take it even farther because they're like, how do we make this more meta?
yeah.
We show all the mistakes, we link everything together with good writing.
And then we also have this entirely wholesome background subplot.
Yeah, they make that second movie just actually really, really good and funny.
Yeah.
Not to mention, they just go above and beyond, and then they're like, but that second movie is actually a movie that's being filmed by this third crew,
Yeah.
and that first movie is actually filming its own movie. I just think it's great.
It's so cool. And you know what we haven't even talked about? The director's wife. Probably my favorite character, I think, in the whole fucking movie.
So wild.
She's insane. She's so cool.
Point being, There's a lot of cool stuff in this.
So cool.
The acting's amazing because in different versions of One Cut of the Dead,
Yeah.
they have to act differently, not only character-wise, but they have to pretend to act bad. Do you know how hard it is for an actor to pretend to be a bad actor?
Oh, trust me, I know. I've heard stories.
So great acting there. We've talked about how things are linked together in an amazing way, so the screenwriting's really great. And then on top of all that, the cinematography's gorgeous.
It is crazy.
Because they have cuts from one camera that's filming another camera. We don't even talk about this, but in the first 37 minutes, and that first, technically the second or the third one cut, but that first 37 minutes, the camera that we're seeing everything on for that one cut gets stuff on it, and they
Yep.
keep having to film. And there's one part where stuff getting on it so bad that someone grabs a thing and wipes the camera off.
Yep.
It's just
So good.
There's so many great things. Honestly, I'm giving it a 5. But for sheer how much enjoyment, if our scale went up, I'd probably give it a 5.5. Just because it's so fun.
good.
Just had a great, awesome time.
Like, I'm so glad we watched this movie. It wasn't what I was expecting when I chose J-horror. I was like, I'll choose J-horror. I'll watch something relatively scary, but we're filming earlier in the day, so it's not as dark. I won't be as scared. It'll be fine. But now I have the rest of the day after we're done to just have a good time.
Yeah.
Because this was a fun movie.
you got anything to add there?
No, I'm still in awe. Sorry.
All right. I guess before we go to the outtakes, you want me to tell you something really cool?
Oh, we have a cool thing. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
this
sure.
is a cool thing for you, but it's also a cool thing for our audience because it ties into things we've talked about before.
Okay.
You know who's reviewed this movie?
Joe Bob?
Yeah.
Oh, man. How long ago did he review it?
I think it was either season 3 or season 4.
Oh, I've seen this, so I can go back
It's
and
one of the
watch
ones
it.
I haven't seen. That's why I said I hadn't seen this movie yet, is because I
Ah.
missed that episode when it came out.
Oh, man, we could go back and watch that together then.
Yeah,
At some
so
point.
we can
'Cause
go
it's
watch
on
that.
Shudder.
Yeah. So if you want to hear like someone who's actually had time to research this movie and potentially have guests on, like talk about this,
Yo, that would be so cool.
Joe Bob's on Shudder. You can listen to him.
Yeah.
So
At this point, Shudder should pay us with how much we talk about them and shield their content.
I mean, I'd like that.
I'd like that too.
Check
but
us out, Shudder.
yeah, Shudder. Pay
We're
me
always
money.
available.
I have nothing better to be
I'll
doing.
take
I'll
a-
answer your emails.
I'll take a pittance.
Yeah, I'll take anything at this point.
On that note, we're gonna go to the outtakes. There's either gonna be like nothing
Or so many.
or so many, and I'm sorry if there's so many, but I marked 110, and I kind of want there to be 110.
no way I fit all 110 in the episode.
I think it'd be very funny.
Benjamin. I'm going to tell you,
You
now.
can't-
I
you
know there
can't
are some
tell
that I
me.
just can't include because of some things that are said.
That's fair. But you can't tell me it wouldn't be really funny to have our outtakes be longer than everything else.
No way they'd be longer than everything else. No way.
We almost have a whole movie worth of outtakes.
We almost yeah. We almost have a whole movie worth of outtakes. You're right.
All right.
Oh my lord. All
We'll
right.
see you in a minute. Or maybe a couple.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the outtake section for this episode of Beware the Board. I hope you all are enjoying our review of One Cut of the Dead so far. I really fucking like this movie. It's super duper cool. But I'm going to go ahead and warn you, the outtake section for this episode is riddled with spoilers. So if you don't want anything spoiled, skip to 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 35 seconds right now. This first outtake is Ben and I's reaction to the total lack of weapon safety on the set of One Cut of the Dead. That is dumb.
You don't like a real axe on stage where someone has to swing it at someone
No,
else?
that is like rule number 1. That's like when you... Man, what a fucking stupid fake movie set.
I think that was the point. I mean, you do have real axes. You're just supposed to switch them out when you're doing a scene with someone.
That's like number 1 rule when you prop a show is no real weapons. None.
Except for when you need real weapons. Movies need them sometimes.
Even then,
You just don't have
the
them in...
precaution that needs to be taken.
Yeah, you don't have them in scenes where you're swinging at someone.
Yeah, you just don't. It's dumb and dangerous.
But you do have them, like, when you're chopping something.
For sure. That's fine.
Which I guess is not as big of a deal for plays.
Yeah, you don't really do that often. Like, I had a whole class on stage weapons. That was a whole class I took. This next clip is Ben and I reacting to someone mentioning the wind in the movie. And, well, let's just say I'm a little scarred from that episode. No, not the wind. I'm not going back. I'm not doing it again.
You have to get over it at some point, Bob.
I won't.
There's going to be wind in other movies.
Well, hopefully those movies are better.
This next clip is Ben and I reacting to whatever the hell the dude running the boom mic is doing.
I thought the boom guy was about to just whack him in the head with the mic.
I did too.
I was so concerned.
He looks so awkward walking through
He does.
that.
He looks like he doesn't know where he's going or what he's doing.
I don't think he knows where he's going or what he's doing.
I don't think he does either.
What does a boom mic man do when there's nothing to boom mic?
I don't know.
Cry?
This next clip is Ben and I reacting to a severed arm appearing on screen, and well, let's just say I was a little disappointed.
Oh! Oh, that was gnarly.
That's kind of gross.
Oh, the boom guy left the door open. How
Oh, an arm.
that was a whole ass hand.
That's an arm, Bob. See?
Okay. Oh, move. Make it move. Please. Oh, it's one of my favorite things. No, it's not going to move. It's not going to chase him. Fuck. It's so sad. Splinter really spoiled me on that one, to be honest.
Yeah, but Splinters was amazing.
Huh?
Splinters was wild.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Because that was like stop motion.
This next clip is Ben and I discussing the similarities between this movie and Zombie 2, and also asking the age-old question, what the fuck is the guy running the boom mic doing?
They still think it's a prank?
Well, yeah, they're on a movie set for a zombie movie.
Oh, God. Okay. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. This film and Zombie, they just tell you why there are zombies. There is no concern about stopping it or, like, there's no plot about it. Like, in
Well.
Zombie 2, they just go, yeah, it's voodoo. In this, they go, oh, yeah, there are just zombies. The government just experimented here or whatever. It's awesome. I love it.
Oh, they're realizing it.
Oh, hell yeah, brother. I didn't like how that got puked before. Yeah, what's with the puking? This is gross. Grab the axe. Or
There's
the
the
boomer.
boom guy.
The boom guy's just sitting there watching. Look at him.
Well, he probably also thinks it's fake. Also, they probably don't pay him enough to not boom mic stuff.
That's fair.
This next clip is Ben and I reacting to the survivors playing catch with the severed hand of one of the zombies.
I think they're probably in the clear actually, because I think it's she's still just holding the fucking severed hand. Why are you holding it?
I don't know. Maybe we can put it back. Hey,
Look at the boom guy.
the zombie guy's gone.
Oh, one-armed man. Man, this is cool.
They're playing fetch.
They're just playing catch with his fucking arm and he's chasing it. Oh my lord, this movie's awesome. Man, I forget how much I love a good zombie movie.
I don't know if good zombie movie is the word I'd use here.
Fun zombie movie.
Fun zombie movie probably is. Like a zombie chasing his own severed hand, assumedly so he can eat it,
Is hilarious.
is pretty great.
Oh yeah,
Not
for
gonna
sure.
lie.
This next clip is Ben and I's reaction to the director in One Cut of the Dead being an absolute fucking asshole.
What a fucking dick. What an absolute fucking dickwad.
It's pretty funny though.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, what a fucking wee head.
The fact that he wrangled a zombie, screams action, and then throws it at these guys.
This next one is Ben and I reacting to just how much blood they used in this movie.
She is covered in blood now. Like, that is so much blood.
Maybe it's cranberry sauce.
I don't think so, Artie.
This next clip is Ben and the movie trolling the shit out of me.
No. It's the end of the movie?
Yep.
That felt so short.
Because it was action packed.
No way. Did we really just finish an hour and a half movie?
Yeah.
No way, you're fucking with me. I feel like this movie just started.
What do I tell you, Bob?
That was the whole movie?
Yeah.
No, hold on. Let's sit through the credits. There's something else happening.
Maybe there's a post-credit scene, but like that's it.
I don't believe you.
I don't know what to tell you, Bob. One Cut of the Dead's over.
This next clip is Ben and I reacting to finally figuring out why the boom guy was acting so strange at the beginning.
Is this the? That's the guy from the. Yeah.
That's the guy who lost his arm.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not what I'm talking about. There's the boom.
There he
guy.
is, Boom Guy!
There's the boom guy. Yeah.
I missed you, Boom Guy.
I did too.
You and your shiny head. Oh, I get bad diarrhea.
Because he can only drink soft water.
Oh my god, that's why he was trying to leave.
Oh. He was about to shit his pants.
This next clip is Ben and I reacting to the director of One Cut of the Dead absolutely roasting his wife.
Oh my god!
Oh my god,
That's brutal.
that was savage. I love how she didn't disagree with him.
No, she didn't. Also, she does a really good job.
Yeah, but she is super over the top, and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, that explains the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering what that was. Damn it.
Yeah, all the little fuck-ups are getting explained.
This last outtake is my reaction when Ben informs me that he marked 110 separate outtakes for this movie.
All right, Bob. I want to apologize really quick because I want to inform you that we have, including this one, 110 laps.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
That's why I took the phone. Let me do the reaction shot here.
no way.
110.
No way.
Have fun with that, bitch.
No way. 110 for an hour and a half movie? Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the outtakes. I'm sure there were either none or a gabillion. I don't fucking know. I haven't... Look, okay. I'm going to spoil something. We record the outro before I cut the show,
Well, obviously.
obviously. So I don't know how long that's going to be, but maybe you were stuck in outtake hell for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Or longer.
Or longer. No clue.
We might want to include a jump.
I do.
timestamp
I have
if
been.
it's really long.
It's going to be long. I've been doing that anyway.
Oh,
have you not been listening to the episodes, Ben?
I'm kind of behind. You wouldn't send me Bone Tomahawk early, so I didn't get to listen
No,
to
you
it.
bitch.
I didn't
You
get to listen to
bitch.
it. It's your fault.
No.
'Cause I
My dog is so fucking stupid.
she tried to jump on the bed and she failed.
Piper.
Are
you
yeah,
okay?
You didn't send me Bone Tomahawk, so I'm not up to date.
She's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
No, because I literally asked you. It was 2 days before that episode was
Mhm.
scheduled to come out, and I go, hey, do you want me to send you Bone Tomahawk?
And my exact words was, "Yeah, I'll totally listen to it before that."
Then I asked, are you actually going to listen to it, Ben?
I
you
went,
said,
Yeah.
And I went, wasting my time, not worth it.
Yeah, see, you're a bitch.
I'm not a
You
bitch. I
wouldn't
just
send
know you
me-
won't listen
wouldn't
to
send
it.
me the episode. So that's how I don't. That's why I don't know that you do the timestamp.
Whatever.
'Cause
Do we have any announcements, Ben?
No.
Okay. No announcements. So I guess follow us on Twitter at
Yeah.
Beware the Board. It's where I post updates about the show. Every Monday, I post a spoiler post for that week of episodes because, you know, we sometimes have random release dates like Mondays, Wednesdays, Sundays if it's a holiday, Thursdays, but every normal episode comes out on Friday.
Mhm.
But on Monday, I post a spoiler post for that week's worth of episodes, which is basically the cover of the movie hidden behind like the Twitter spoiler feature. So you can click on it and reveal it and watch the movie so you don't get anything spoiled.
You do have to be 18 years or older to view that spoiler, though.
Oh, because I have to click one and it's either
Sensitive
option-
content or
it's like nudity or sensitive content.
I
I'm
think
like,
we
well, it's
choose
not
sensitive
nudity.
content.
I use sensitive content.
Also check us out wherever you get your podcasts. So probably where you're listening to right now.
Spotify, Apple Podcast,
Yeah.
bunch of other places.
We're also on YouTube. If
Yeah.
for whatever reason you still want to watch us there, maybe that's just convenient for you. If you're on YouTube, you know, like, comment, subscribe, smash that bell button. And you know, if you're doing any of that, you can always record yourself doing that and then link the video of you doing that into our comment section.
So you
And then
could
maybe
be
do that again.
yeah, a video within a comment within a video.
Yeah, maybe on this one.
Yeah, maybe.
Kind of a One Cut of the Dead style comment,
Yeah.
one might say.
If you have any recommendations for the random category of the board or any movies you think Ben and I should watch, leave those in the comments so we can get a pile going. We need them. We're coming up on, we haven't talked about it, Ben. Very exciting news. We're coming up on the end of the season in a couple episodes. Then we get a new season, and my God, am I excited.
Maybe we'll have our art for season 4.
Maybe. Man. All right. Well, anything else, Ben?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see you all next week.
We'll see you next week.